Hi, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss about the interesting topic, the topic called why octane irrelevant for diesel. Also we will see about the wrong fuel and wrong engine. Now, see here, the topic is very much important because it will lead to many core questions. Okay, so why octane irrelevant for diesel? Okay, so here a gasoline engine use a spark plug. So we want to use the fuel air mixture to burn smoothly only when the spark is ignited, not before. Is it clear? Now, what is octane? Octane measures the fuel resistance to auto ignition. It's the ability to resist the exploding too early under the heat pressure. Okay. If it is burned, the problem we will call it as knocking. Okay. When the fuel is burned before reaching the TDC, okay, it will create the massive impact on the piston. Okay. Now, if we use high octane fuel, okay, which means the octane number, it tells that it is harder to ignite by compression alone. Okay, it is harder to ignite by compression alone. Okay, so generally the spark SI engine, okay, spark ignition engine needs high octane number. Spark ignition engine needs high octane number because the high octane number it measures the resistance to knocking. Okay, so we will not give a importance to cetane number in SI engines. Okay, now coming to the diesel. Diesel engines have the opposite goal. Okay, so they have no spark plug. Obviously, we know that they rely on auto ignition. The air is compressed to such high extreme heat, and then the fuel is injected into the high heat environment. Okay, and then it must be ignite immediately and reliably on its own. For diesel, don't want to resistance the auto ignition, right? Like in SI engine, it won't. Okay, where in case of diesel, we don't want to resistance to auto ignite. Okay, actually we demand it. Actually we demand it. So if octane measures the resistance to auto ignition using high octane fuel in a diesel engine would be disastrous. It would be very struggle to ignite. It will be very struggle to ignite. This causes a massive amount of fuel to build up before combustion. Okay. So, and if the fuel is accumulated and if the combustion happens, it creating a violent pressure spikes. Okay. So that will be a different topic knocking that we will discuss it in subsequent videos. Okay. So for diesel, we use only a cetane number. Okay. It is willingness to auto ignite. How quickly and easily under compression. Okay, so high cetane number means a short ignition delay, a smoother control combustion, and better cold start. So these are all the characteristics of high cetane number. Okay, if the diesel has a high cetane number, what are all the benefits? A short ignition delay, a smooth and controlled combustion, then better cold start, and a lower emissions. Okay. Now we are going to see that the wrong fuel in the wrong engine. Okay, so this will be the important core questions generally will be asked in some interviewers. Okay, so wrong fuel in wrong engine, so petrol in diesel or and diesel in petrol. Okay, so putting the wrong fuel in your vehicle is a costly, and damaging mistake. Putting the consequences are very different depending on the direction of the usage. Okay. So now we are going to see about the wrong fuel in wrong engine. Okay. Now, if we use in such case, if we unfortunately the petrol in diesel or diesel in petrol, it is both terrible scenarios. Okay. So now we are going to see that one by one. Okay. So now, so putting petrol in a diesel engine. Okay. So now these three is important. Okay. One is the loss of lubrication, and destruction of injection system, and ignition failure. Okay. So diesel fuel. So as we know, diesel fuel it just an energy source we may thought. Okay. It is an energy source, obviously, there is no doubt about it, but it is also a lubricant. Okay, it is also a lubricant. Okay, as we know that the diesel fuel, okay, it has high pressure injector and as well as pump. Okay, so diesel fuel isn't just an energy source, it is a lubricant. Okay, it is a lubricant. The high pressure fuel pump and injector in a diesel engine rely on lubricity. Rely on lubricity. Okay, whereas petrol is a solvent. It strips all away. Okay, if it is a solvent, right? It strips away. Okay, but this is vital for lubrication. Okay, it is vital for lubrication. Okay, so if we use petrol, okay, as if it causes a severe wear and tear problem. It causing a severe wear and tear, metal on metal. Okay, wear problem. Okay, okay. The ultra high pressure pump is designed for lubricating the fluid, will quickly overheat and seize. Okay, the precision injector can be ruined. So what will happen if we use petrol and diesel? Okay, the full injection system. Okay, high pressure pump, the pump system. Okay, the ultra high pressure pump. Okay, is going to be seized because of overheating. Okay, and the precision injector can be ruined. Okay, now next, even if pump surveys, okay, in such cases, okay, pump surveys, petrol has a high octane rating. Petrol has a high octane rating, so meaning it resists to auto ignite. Okay, so in a diesel engine that relies on fuel auto ignition under compression, so petrol may not ignite at all. Okay, petrol may not ignite at all. Okay, so in a diesel engine that relies on fuel auto ignition under high compression, so petrol may not ignite at all, right? So it will ignite violently even if it is burn, it will violently burn. So obviously, if it is violent combustion, we may call it as knocking. Okay, the severe knocking can occur. Okay, severe knocking. If it is severe knocking, that can bend connecting rods. Okay, and blow head gaskets and destroy pistons. Okay. Now in the next slide, we will discuss about a diesel in a petrol engine. So if diesel in a petrol engine, obviously diesel has a high lubricity character. So clogging and poor combustion will occur. Engine may misfire and stall, and catalytic converter failure. Okay. So now the other way, diesel in a petrol engine, this often less immediately destructive. Okay. Where in case of petrol in diesel, it creates immediate mechanical failure. Where in case of diesel and petrol, it will not create immediate mechanical failure. The immediate less immediately destructive. It may called as, okay, but it will still stop the vehicle dead. Okay, so diesel is heavier, oilier, and less volatile. Okay, in a petrol engine, low pressure system, so it won't vaporize properly. It clogs the fuel injectors and fouls the spark plug with a soot. Fouls the spark plug with a soot. Okay, so petrol engines needs a precise and vaporized air fuel mixture ignited by spark. Okay, but diesel spray won't ignite from the spark. Okay, it will burn very poorly. The engine will misfire. Okay, even if it is fire, smoke heavily. Okay, so if it is depending on the combustion. Okay, if it is misfire a lot, white color smoke we can observe. Okay, and the partial combustion occurs, then a black smoke will appear in the exhaust. Okay, and also loss of all the power and shudder violently and stall. Okay, so it will not restart. Okay, so unburned diesel fuel, okay, will flood into the hot catalytic converter. So unburned HA emissions. Okay, so what will happen? It will going to be flood into the catalytic converter. It will overheat and melt the expensive catalytic converter core. Okay, and it requires a replacement. Okay, so it is the costly, expensive failure. It is. If diesel in a petrol, it is an expensive failure. Okay.